Hello, this is Jalinda Prekop, and I am doing a presentation on aligning teams and driving growth using CRM. Today we're going to be talking a lot about CRM as the hub of this journey. How do we get sales and marketing teams aligned? And then really kind of how do you use that CRM system for being able to ensure that both sales and marketing are getting the information that they need? So we're going to talk first about CRM as the hub of that strategy. Here we're just asking the question, why CRM? And that's that basic question. It's very common that today people are wanting one centralized system to be able to get customer and prospect insight that both the sales and marketing teams can use. And even more important today is just having access to data anytime, anywhere. And with that enhancement of mobile features, there's a lot of capabilities today that make it much easier for people to have that information at their fingertips. So what's important is, from a marketing perspective, we have all this information. We want to make sure that we're offering a consistent message to leads, prospects, and customers. And again, having that single source of data that sales and marketing are working with enable that better communication process. And then it really comes down to collaboration, making sure that people have insight into all the communications and activities that are going on with your customers, with your prospects, and being able to create an environment of really better managing those relationships overall. And bottom line, you need to measure your success. So are the things that sales and marketing are doing improving the pipeline value, increasing the sales cycle, decreasing the sales cycle, getting to a win faster, and then being able to measure the effectiveness of the things that you're doing. So we're going to take a little bit of a closer look at just what does an alignment journey look like. Very few organizations today have reached that fully aligned scenario between sales and marketing because it requires ongoing collaboration, and that's why I call it a journey. Things are changing constantly with your business. What you need to measure, what you need to communicate, who you need to be communicating with, what those messages should be, that could literally change on a very frequent basis. And so as your business evolves, how sales and marketing are communicating together needs to evolve as well, so that everyone is in an alignment around those strategies. And then again, kind of going back full circle, how do we measure effectiveness? How do we make the adjustments that are needed going forward? So the key avenue here is really that this is just an alignment journey. And we're going to talk today about how do we really get it started. So first of all, you have to ensure that your end users are using a CRM solution. There's got to be something in it for them. We all know that salespeople, they love to chase this shiny object. It's very difficult to keep them focused on the right things. So CRM today can really give people the insight and visibility onto the tasks that they should be doing, but then access to quick information so that they can see what has all that history been like? What has marketing done? How have people reacted to the marketing interactions that have been sent out? What's going on with that business? Research information. So you just have all of that at a person's fingertips, makes them much more effective and productive when they're entering into a conversation with that customer. So really it's helping them understand that it's going to increase their productivity and the depth and benefit of the conversations they're going to be having with customers and prospects. So we want to think about this relationship for life with our customers. There's all sorts of ways we communicate with a person depending on where they are at in their relationship with us. So as you are just trying to build brand awareness, you're going to be marketing in a completely different manner than when you're trying to expand your market share that you have with your existing customers. And so sales and marketing alignment needs to really address that entire customer life cycle and understand what the messaging is that needs to be based on where that customer or prospect is within that customer life cycle. So how do we go about finding leads? So, marketing has some strategies around what they're going to be doing, and they may purchase lists. They may get lists from trade shows or associations, and that's all fine. But there's a better strategy to that, and sales is going to be able to offer insight into who are the people that they really want to be in front of. Is there a particular persona? Is there a particular industry? Is there a particular area of the country we are more effective? So it's kind of that who, what, and where first, and then how. What is it? What's going to be the best way of communicating with them? And this kind of goes into that sort of digital transformation of how we communicate with businesses today, whether it's phone or email or social or, any through chat. There are all sorts of different communication channels that are used, but that needs to be part of the strategy. Within Dynamics and Salesforce, and today the two products I'm going to be really focusing on are those two, and how CRM as a hub can be utilized using either Microsoft Dynamics 365 CRM or the Salesforce solution. Both of them have very useful tools for doing list building, where you can go out and using some of that criteria we were talking about on the previous slide, use that to build out a list of companies and contacts that you could then bring directly into your CRM system, and then marketing can start doing some lead qualification, maybe inbound, outbound marketing related to new leads coming into the system. So we all know data integrity is a big challenge. So as you're bringing all of this data into CRM, you want to make sure that you've got as quality data as possible. And both of the tools offer the ability to make sure you're not bringing duplicate records in. You can add some checks and balances to make sure that things are formatted correctly, and at least do some basic data management before you're bringing information into the system. So then we've got, as we accumulate all of this information into the CRM systems, what marketing needs to do is figure out, how am I going to segment all of that, right? So that becomes the really important component of the data itself. What is it we need to be capturing about a lead or a contact or a business? Some of the things such as a person's title, or the zip code that they're in, or the industry that they're in, are very common types of segmentation rules that you're going to be using. But each business is going to be very different as far as how they segment their business, and then those segmentations become the way you define the message that you're going to be formulating. So I may want to have a marketing campaign that's going to go out to all sales managers within a particular territory that's in a very niche industry. And I need to be able to, marketing needs to be able to pull that list segmentation. And the more you can do that, the better you're going to get the measurements you're looking for on the back end. So working with leads and contacts. Within the CRM solutions, you have a really automated way of being able to manage a lead process that really then turns into that whole sales process. And it's important to define that lead management process in the marketing and sales alignment area, because there's a lot of things, times where marketing, there's going to be marketing qualified leads and there's going to be sales qualified leads. And you need to define when is the appropriate time for a marketing qualified lead to move its way into the sales process, where it's qualified enough, there's been enough reaction that's been happening from that lead that it now is worth the time for a salesperson to follow up with them. And so that's a very critical component of defining this alignment strategy. With CRM still at the hub. So you got to think about marketing using really that leads area of CRM very intensely. And then as things get qualified and bubble up through the sales process, it gets turned over to sales and it starts working its way through the opportunity process. So let's talk a little bit about lead scoring, contact scoring. So those behaviors, when marketing is doing these various activities, they might send out an email, they might have a blog that's posted. They might have a webinar that's taking place that people are registering for. They might have visited certain pages of your website. All of those things can get scoring that sales and marketing need to agree on the value of, that tally up into an overall lead score. And then, this is what you're looking at. You've got to decide when a lead score hits a certain value, when should that now get flipped over to the sales team for follow-up. And what you think initially is a good lead score may turn out to be maybe too soon or too late. So you need feedback from the salespeople to determine whether the sales and marketing management have identified the correct criteria for these lead scores. So once you have determined what those rules are for when sales should get involved, you can use triggers and workflows and business processes within the CRM solutions to make sure that that salesperson is notified. So these are just some examples of notification to a sales rep that a lead has been assigned to them, and then another notification that a lead has reached a certain lead score to really keep it front of mind to that salesperson. And what I would suggest is that you have multiple thresholds on this lead score. So when they hit 75, that's telling sales one thing. But when they hit 150 or 500, it's telling sales another thing. So you want to make sure that you've got those thresholds defined and that these notifications are going out to your sales team so they're aware of the activity taking place with their leads. So in the end, what we're looking for is sales to be able to focus on the best leads. And as these lead scores are bubbling up, list views within either Dynamics or Salesforce on a dashboard or a saved view or a saved favorite will enable the salespeople always to really get a better insight into what they should be focusing on when they are working around this lead development. The other thing is we just want to understand who to call and when. So there are some channels within these products where you can use some auto dialing capabilities and some suggestive dialing. So if I know I've got a list of leads that have hit this lead score over 75 and I want to run through a bit of a call campaign with them, I can use some of the tools within both Dynamics and Salesforce to monitor some of that dialing for me as well. The other great thing is having research information at the salesperson's fingertips, getting as much insight into that company or that person that they can prior to making the phone call, being as well prepared as possible. So both Dynamics and Salesforce offer these insight tools that's pulling information from the web to put it at your fingertips so you don't have to go out spending all that time working through search engines to find this information. And then, again, kind of tying this all together is enabling the salespeople to see the marketing interactions. So this is very valuable when a salesperson pulls up a lead or a contact and can see everything that's been happening, how many website pages that person has visited, how many email interactions they've had, just, as we've been sending information out to them, how have they been reacting to it? And that helps the salesperson really, again, target the message. So if they know that there's certain pages on your website that they've spent a lot more time than others, then that's probably an area of interest that they're going to want to dig into in a little bit more detail. And then tracking activity is really important. So this is that, collaboration internally so that everyone can see who is speaking to a lead or a contact. And you've got that centralized area that shows all communications, whether it's emails or phone calls or appointments. That's kind of tying everything together again from the collaborative internal groupings that you're going to be looking for sales and marketing to have together. So access anytime, anywhere. So this is an example of what the mobile solution would look like for Salesforce and Dynamics. If it were on an iPhone or an iPad, or I shouldn't even say an iDevice, it can be any kind of tablet or mobile phone device. These apps will run on there and create, again, for the people who are out in the field, a very robust experience using the CRM solution. So let's talk a little bit more about the sales process. So now as we've moved those marketing qualified leads into sales qualified leads, and those leads have matured into an opportunity, what I want to talk about here is why that's important and what's in it for marketing. So marketing needs to measure results. They're the ones spending money on these initiatives, and there needs to be some way of saying that they're doing the right thing at the right time to the right people, and that's how opportunities really play a very important part to that marketing area. So they want to track results by campaign. You might want to measure success based on industry or territory or a particular salesperson who's more effective than others. Is there a product or service that's selling faster? It's going through the sales process faster than other products or services. So think about all these different metrics that can be measured. That's going to really help as you're evaluating and you're looking at the trends. It's going to help marketing target what industry they should be focusing on, what product or service should they be focusing on, what persona or title within a particular business should they be focusing on. So when you're trying to sell to the end users why this is important, being able to get these metrics for marketing becomes a very important part of that. So talking about the sales process is really about defining all those stages and steps. And why that's important is because we want to measure how long opportunities stay in a certain stage. And again, measuring by a particular industry or a particular product or a particular service, are the sales processes longer than others? And then can we maybe refocus the things we're working on to replicate the sales processes that are working the fastest for us? So if we know we can target a specific industry or a specific area of the country or a specific product to get our foot in the door, leverage those efficiencies and the experience that you have to be more effective in turning that back over to marketing so they can, again, identify the right messaging to the right people. So pipeline management is very important, and we want it to be efficient. So within Salesforce and Dynamics, you have these great models for being able to see what a pipeline looks like today and make the changes quickly to be able to move things from stage to stage so that you get this nice graphical vision of what the pipeline looks like. And those types of capabilities are equally as available through the mobile device. So the Salesforce1 solution, this is looking from a tablet perspective, really looks pretty much the same. So if you've got people out in the field, they're going to get a great opportunity to manage their pipeline right through those tablet devices. And then within Dynamics, you get a little different look and feel, but it's the same capabilities of being able to do all of that management of your pipeline, your activities, all through the mobile solution as well for Dynamics. All right, let's talk a little bit about measuring success. So everything up to that point, I've been really talking a lot about how do we collect data? Why do we need the end users to do it? And then this important part at the bottom of all of this is really to analyze the data, see the trends. And there are so many different KPIs. So some of these KPIs at the top are really more like what marketing wants to be looking at. Website visitors, how many of those website visits became a lead that became a marketing qualified lead. And then it goes, obviously deeper into all of that. So how many marketing qualified leads became sales qualified leads? What's the ratio? How long are sales opportunities sitting in certain stages? And just it goes on and on, but you have to think about the metrics that you want that are going to be able to offer insight to both sales and marketing to better massage the messaging and the target market that they're looking for to be most effective. So dashboards are a great way of taking all of that information that's in CRM and graphically being able to present it. And both Salesforce and Dynamics have these great tools for being able to take the data and present it in charts and dashboards. So that's what we're showing here. And then these charts and dashboards are equally as available through the mobile platform. They maybe look a little bit different, but it's basically creating the same type of experience. And all of this data you can drill down into to get behind the details that make up the charts that you're looking at. And then within Dynamics, you get that same experience of this is the dashboards that we're looking at, being able to drill into it to see even more details behind it, get right to the record that you want to update and have that real-time data experience. So wrapping up, just a little bit about Ledgeview Partners. We are a CRM consulting practice that focuses specifically on Microsoft Dynamics 365 CRM and the Salesforce platform. This is just a little bit more information about the many projects that we've done, and we're very proud of our 98% customer retention rate. So how do you kind of get to this next point, right? This questioning whether you're in alignment, how do we even start the journey of getting in alignment? So this is something Ledgeview's helped many businesses start articulating, right? And it starts not with jumping in right away to CRM, but really talking about that current state and future state. And then where are there some gaps in that alignment strategy? And then how does that get really laid out so that everyone's in agreement on, what's a customer journey map look like? Who are the people we're really targeting? What is going to be our lead management process? And then how do we automate some of those processes so that in the end, we make sure things are not falling between the cracks and people are being held accountable to do the tasks that they are responsible for to continue to move opportunities through the sales process. And then working together to really identify what your key performance indicators are going to be, because that's going to really help lay out the vision for all of the bullet points you see above. So marketing analysis really takes this, if you've never gone through it and you're having a hard time really identifying personas and what a customer journey map would look like, and there's just so many other components that are part of this marketing analysis, that might be the best place to start. And then kind of bring into that model, all right, now that we've identified sort of this mapping for our marketing strategy, how does that align, or when do we need to pull sales in and so that they understand how they're impacted by this strategy. So for additional information, I would strongly suggest that you visit all sorts of resources that are available on our website, our Ledgeview blog. We've got customer success stories and all sorts of webinars similar to the ones that we're presenting today. So with that, I'd like to thank you. And again, for more information, please visit our website.